viewers, I very do much understand that this is a very different type of video than normal. To be honest here, I just want to talk about these action figures simply because I have them, and also doing a toy review sounds like a lot of fun. And I'll get back to doing that retrospective, maybe not retrospective, the overview of the Monsterverse in a little while. But, you know, I just want to talk about these figures anyways. Essentially, earlier today I went to Target and they had the new Godzilla X Kong stuff. They even had the new King Ghidorah, and a lot of people saying that that was like a, I don't forget what it was exclusive to, but I remember that was like exclusive to a certain region, but they had it. They even had the cool Battle Roar figures. Not cool, in my opinion, but they did not have Shimo, so that sucks. I am missing her. So I only picked up the 4, and that's the 4 that I'm reviewing today. So I'm going to work my way up for figures that I was the least excited about to figures that I was the most excited about. And of course, as I stated earlier, I don't have Shimo, but you know, let's get on to it.
Fearsome Godzilla has evolved.
So compared to the last figure that I seen from Playmates about MonsterVerse Godzilla, that last figure sucked in my opinion. So looking at this figure, this was a big improvement over that last one. Do I have the last one on me? No, but let's take a look at this guy. And sculpting on this figure is actually really good, especially like the detailing right here, right down, simply because you can see, you know, some evolvement here, evolvement at the legs, obviously. I'm sorry, they took away my man's thunder thighs and gave him freaking, like, rooster legs. That is hilarious. Of course, you know, obviously the arm spikes, which are not painted in this color, which kind of sucks. But, you know, we move. It's a basic figure. Formation down here is also really good. It's painted nice and well. The only issue I have is that he's painted in this blue color when he's supposed to be gray. I don't know why they couldn't have painted this figure gray. Like, damn, if you're, like, you went from painting him jet black to just straight up blue when he's supposed to be gray. So I'm pretty sure his eyes were pink, not orange, but okay. As that Bandai Creations Godzilla 2000, you know, leg stance, because it's already pre-posed when it comes to the legs and the arm. I mean by that, by the way. Now, the other thing I don't like about the figure is how essentially they made the dorsal plates right here translucent, but everything else is painted, and it looks really weird. So that's the only other complaint. But aside from that, this figure is solid, but out of all of them, this is the figure I was least excited to get. Painting on the inside of the mouth is also really cool. They did not paint the bottom of the mouth like that, though, just the tongue and teeth. But overall, this figure has some actually pretty clean teeth paint. Go over articulation. His jaw hinges ups and down. Both of his arms can move all the way around. This one goes around easier than the other one. His legs go hinge up and down. His feet swivel now, but sadly, his neck does not move at all, and his tail is on a, I guess you could say, a ball joint, and that, you know, does some nice things, and it looks pretty nice, I guess. But overall, for a basic figure, he has some pretty good articulation. He still has the worst articulation of the whole line, sadly. Well, second worst articulation. Doug has some pretty crappy articulation too. They could have had like a swivel right here if they did, but we'll get to Doug when we get to Doug. But he also has an accessory. The best thing that Playmates does with these Godzilla figures, at least for the MonsterVerse Godzillas, they give them atomic breath pieces. Now, this is a brand new atomic breath piece. Obviously, it's shaded in the color that's supposed to be, but also they add these little flared out things. Now, as you can see, there's a hole in the top of Godzilla's mouth, and there's a thing that sticks upwards. So you just want to jam that into Godzilla's mouth, and just like that, you have him shooting atomic breath. If you ask me, this is the coolest thing about the figure. I feel like more Godzilla figures should come with an atomic breath piece, especially if you're just going to give us a regular Godzilla. So if you ask me, Playmates does the best thing when it comes to atomic breaths, when it comes to basic figures at least. But the best thing also is that there's no battle damage stuff with this guy. So, you know, this is pretty cool. Here we have Big Ape, Big Monkey, Big Gorilla, Big Caesar. Now, Kong was my favorite figure from the last time they made Kong figures, which was for Godzilla vs. Kong. Kong had the best figures with the best articulation. The only other figure that rivaled him was the Skullcrawler and Mechagodzilla. But even then, those figures had their own flaws. I mean, not love them as much as I did Kong. Now, Kong, for this line, obviously, he's a bit different. There's, I guess, less hair over here. But the thing I like about this Kong is that you can see some battle damage right here. But the thing I don't like about the figure is that they took away his his hand articulation. They can say it's because, they had to, make it so that way his arm thing. No, if you just cut it right here and then it can move. Does it break the sculpt? Yes, but you can still add articulation. So, -1 point for that. But aside from that, his articulation is the exact same as the last one, but we're not on that. We're on painting and sculpting. Painting and sculpting is really good, especially with this thing right here, the Beast Glove. Beast Glove painting and sculpting right here is really good and really cool. Only downside is that they don't paint the silver right here over here, and it kind of ruins the whole imagery of it. But aside from that, it's really good. His mouth is a lot wider open. It reminds me of a specific shot from the trailer. He has his extra scarring like he does by the end of the movie from Godzilla from GVK. And aside from that, his paint is a lot different. It's a little bit darker than it was. His face is painted the correct color this time. And you can see his abs a lot more, I guess. Now, I thought there was going to be a waist swivel here, but there isn't. I guess it's just like glued in or something. If you're wondering why you're hearing noise, I'm in my basement doing this. But aside from that, the painting and sculpting on this figure is really freaking good. It's on the inside of the mouth. The inside of the mouth, when it comes to painting, is really good. The gums and everything is really cool. The teeth aren't painted all the way, but guess what? The illusion of having full teeth paint is still there. This is still really good teeth paint. Are the eyes messed up? Yeah, but who cares? This is actually like a really good figure. Again, they do Godzilla so dirty when it comes to these figures, but they do Kong so excellently. Like, what the hell? Let's go over articulation. You can swivel all the way around at the head. You get very minimal up movement and very minimal down movement. Arms go out, side, over, all that. You can, these things hinge. You can swivel it as well. Swivel over here at the wrist. Same thing on this arm, but again, there's no hand movement right here, which sucks. Hinge up, hinge back, swivel, hinge, and overall, that's it, essentially. That's it for Kong when it comes to articulation and painting and sculpting. But of course, he comes with an accessory as well, that being the Heave Mark II. Now, do I like it? I guess. I don't know how you went from this to this, but, we move, I guess. But, I don't know. This feels like it should be, some type of mecha something. I don't know. This looks like a mecha, not a Heave Mark II, if you will.
Combo Breaker!
I was more excited for these two than I was for Godzilla and Kong. Sue me. Doug first, we have much to talk about. Sculpting is really good on this Doug figure. You can see a lot of the detailing pop, I guess. Doug got a fucking six-pack, and this man just be crawling around all day. Yo, brother, what is your workout routine? I'm gonna need it. Anyways, his face, though, hang on, with the camera. Face, though, is really good. This looks like Doug, I guess. Now, here's my only issue with this figure. They painted him jet black like they did with the other Godzilla. Doug was, a brownish gray in GVK, so unless, he's evolving more into what Godzilla normally looks like in this new movie, I don't understand why they just didn't paint him a brownish gray, but I guess we move. Oh yeah, the teeth paint is really good. This is the best teeth paint in the whole freaking wave. Yes, better than Godzilla's teeth paint. But anyways, this is some pretty good, I guess, figure. Articulation for Doug, rotation at the neck, arms go all the way around, same thing with his feet, and there's a ball joint at the tail that goes all over the place. Aside from that, Doug is really good. This is the first Doug figure. If you're gonna get it, because I'm pretty sure that this figure is definitely gonna become a holy grail. Now let's go on to the mini monkey. Suko, focus camera, focus. There we go. Alright, so Suko, I can't talk about much because we haven't seen much of him within the movie or even in the trailers, I mean. But overall, I guess this goes really well. This paint, this plastic is not good with this paint, obviously. For wondering whether some paint chipping, the scissors got to him. The scissors got to him. But overall, for a Suko figure, from what I've seen from the trailers, I think it's pretty accurate. Eye paint is really good. I didn't even know he had a scar, so that's pretty cool, I guess. Brother is smirking, so obviously he's got something devious planned. Don't hurt me. Anyways, but I ain't got much to say. His fur sculpting is really good. The sculpting on the hands are pretty nice, and the sculpting on the face is also really good. Let's move on to articulation. Suko has some of the best articulation out of the wave. His head looks up about that far, down about this far. His arms rotate out, swivel. Bolt inward, not so much outward. Swivel, same thing on the other side. He has waist articulation, which is really cool. Bends this about forward this much, backwards, pretty good far. Hinge, and then swivel right here. Suko has, again, really good articulation for how small he is. And he comes with an accessory, but Doug doesn't. His accessory is a rock. I don't know if you can make him hold the rock. I'm going to try to. Was actually surprisingly easy.
Slap the fuck out your grandma and stab all your little.
This is our next big bad, our new Mecha Godzilla, Ghidorah, a giant skull crawler, the Skull Devil, the Mutos. This is our next big bad, the Scar King. I don't have Shimo. I already said that like twice already. Thank God that this is removable so we can look at, his chest and everything. His chest paint is alright, I guess, but I like how you can see how much fur he's losing. You can also see it on his arms and his head because he has a very receding hairline. That's even evidenced from the trailers, so, brother is balding horrendously. Aside from that, his fur paint is really good. His
Put those grippers away!
Dogs are really good.
What did he say?
And overall, I think he has some pretty good paint. My only issue is that I think they could have changed this coat of paint, this red paint right here, to be a bit darker, just to insinuate, a nice difference between his fur paint and, his head and this masking paint. But I don't know, maybe it looks the exact same in the trailer, I don't know. Let's go over articulation. Swivel all the way around at the head, can look up that far, look down that far. These guys look down horrendously. His arms move out, in, swivel. Hinge this backwards, hinge this much forwards. Swivel right here, same thing on the other side. Just like Suko, this guy has waist movement. So you combine how much crappy he looks down with the waist, you get absolutely nothing. You crunch backwards, though, he can look really far up. Just like some Marvel Legends, I guess. But, let me move on before the Marvel Legends fans kill me. His legs go out this much, move backwards about that much, hinge backwards about this much, hinge forwards about that much.
Oh my God, those dogs are barking.
Feet paint really good, I guess.
What did he say?
Again, some pretty good accessories, pretty good articulation for a basic figure, and I do like it. Accessory is this whip thing. Now, this thing can obviously go around him. It goes. You want this piece right here, this mouth to be up top, this right here to be on the bottom, and then you want to just plug the ball joint into the hole, and then there you go. God damn it. There we go. Plug that right back in, and just like that, he looks like the racist that he is. Yes, I called this man a racist, leave me alone. Whatever. Essentially, for him to hold his accessory, though, have this piece go into this open hand right here, and then, just get in there. Just plug that in, and would you look at that? Overall, for the figures that I have of the wave, I think this is actually a pretty good wave. Godzilla is surprisingly fun to play around with compared to the last one. Kong, while significantly having less articulation, looks a lot better than he did in the last time. Scar King is just a really fun figure all around. And Doug and Suko are surprising figures that I enjoy the most. Now, will I do a review of Shimo when I get her? Yes, I will. Now, do I think that the Shimo figure looks good? No, I really don't. I really want to get the 2-pack version of Shimo simply because the paint on that one looks really good, and also just, it just looks better in my opinion. Do I want to get the same Godzilla again? No, but if it means I can get a better figure that I want more out of it, then yes, I will definitely pick that up if I can find it. If not, I'll just go for the 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 simple, basic one. Now, if you find these figures in stores, I suggest you pick them up. Hell yeah, these figures are only $9.99, so freaking go crazy, grab them. Now, as for Wave 2, maybe. I don't know if they will do a Wave 2. If they do, go ahead. These figures are really fun. Now, for Bandai Movie Monster Series, nothing has been shown yet. Bandai might be still making them, and if they are, I will pick up that Godzilla because it might be better. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. Anyways, this has been Broke Studios. I will see you guys later.